Hello, I'm Michael.
I'm Sally, and this is Wrestle MSX.
Raw began with Drew McIntyre making his way to the ring, and of course he was having a moan-up. Naturally, the crowd chanted for CM Punk, with McIntyre responding that if you're a Punk fan, you're stupid. McIntyre then went on to say that Punk is running from him, and that Damian Priest is a paper champion. Enter Priest. Priest tells McIntyre that he lost the title because he made Punk more important than his wife and the title.
We then get a quick recap of where we are in the Queen of the Ring tournament. We see Shayna Baszler beating Maxine Dupree in a house show from Sunday night, which puts her in the quarter-final match against Iyo Sky, which is next.
Baszler attacks Iyo before the bell while she's still on the apron. But back from the break, both competitors are in the ring with the match fully underway, only to be interrupted by the dreaded QR code.
After scanning the code, you go to a page which is a list of 20 picture files. The pictures are of handwritten notes, as you can see here.
The one picture of note is a newspaper article. The story seems to involve a missing woman who was last seen at her home. Her home was also used as an office where she would see patients, maybe some kind of psychologist, and this is where these notes were found. Joke Harley Quinn storyline incoming. The woman's name that wrote the article is Wendy Lucho, which is an anagram of Uncle Howdy, so I think we can forget the Sting and the Mickey Mouse. I think we're pretty
sure?
I think we're pretty confirmed it's probably Uncle Howdy now after all that.
Back to the match, Iyo puts Baszler away with a Meteora followed by an over the moonsault and the 1-2-3. Iyo advances to the semi-final of Queen of the Ring.
Backstage we see Judgment Day playing darts with Carlito of all games. When Priest walks in, Carlito says that they could do with a little muscle. Priest responds with telling him that he's not welcome here. You don't trust me, replies Carlito. Nope, fires back Priest.
Back from the break, we see Chad Gable giving Alpha Academy a pep talk, telling Otis he doesn't want to see his worm tonight in his match with Sami Zayn, and no dancing from Tozawa when he faces off against Bronson Reed later. He then just calls the whole Academy poor, including Maxine Dupree.
Next, we catch up with the King of the Ring tournament and see Kofi Kingston beating Rey Mysterio in a house match from Sunday to progress to the next round. That next round is next, where he'll face off against Gunther in the quarter-final.
The match was introduced by Lillian Garcia, who, if you don't know, is a pretty legendary ring announcer. Like the previous match between Baszler and Sky, Kofi attacked Gunther before the bell had even rung, targeting his right knee. Eventually they get in the ring, the bell rings, and the match is officially underway. Gunther locks in the Boston Crab on the announcer's table before the SOS by Kofi gets a 2 count on Gunther. Trouble in Paradise misses Gunther, who turns it into a powerbomb pin. As Kofi kicks out on 2, Gunther keeps hold of Kingston, stepping over him and locks in another crab. Kofi taps out with Gunther qualifying to the semi-final.
If Gunther does win, does he then become King of the Ring General? I mean, I don't know, that's a pretty good name. Backstage we see Liv Morgan get flat out punched in the face by Becky Lynch. Reason? She pretty much called her a pitch.
After the break, we see Karrion Kross cryptically telling Kofi Kingston there's always more time.
Back in the ring, we see Bronson Reed taking on Akira Tozawa with Chad Gable in tow. As you can imagine, Reed squashed Tozawa metaphorically and literally with a tsunami to pick up the win.
Adam Pearce then announces a fatal 4-way tag match later tonight winners becoming the number 1 contenders to face the Awesome Truth. The competitors will be New Catch Republic, AOP, the Creed Brothers, and Finn Balor and JD McDonagh of the Judgment Day.
Time for another Queen of the Ring quarter-final bout, this one between Zoey Stark and Lyra Valkyria. A springboard missile dropkick gets Stark a 2 count, and Valkyria then hits Stark with a tornado DDT, but to no avail. Stark sets up Lyra for the Z360, which Valkyria reverses into a Nightwing, pinning Stark to progress to the semi-finals of the Queen of the Ring. Now, Valkyria would be my pick to win the Queen of the Ring. I think she's doing well. Yeah. But you got to remember that on the other side of the draw is Jax, Cargill, Stratton and Belair, and I can't see the new last kicker beating any of them. Not just yet anyway.
Otis is out next against Sami Zayn. Chad Gable hoping that Otis can soften Zayn up a little bit before his triple threat match at King and Queen of the Ring. Otis puts Zayn down and starts warming up for the worm. Gable isn't happy about this, telling him to stop. But he worms anyway, much to the delight of the crowd. After hitting his signature move, Otis goes up top, but as he lands, Zayn rolls out of the way and hits a dazed Otis with a haluva kick and covers him for the 1-2-3. Gable climbs into the ring, having a go at Otis for losing, so Zayn hits Gable with an exploder and sets up for another haluva kick, which Gable dodges, rolling out of the ring. Gable then continues to berate Otis back up the rampway.
Dakota Kai is out next in her match against Becky Lynch. Kai chaperoned by Damage Control, of course. After a suplex by Lynch on Kai and a failed pin attempt, both female competitors went through various pinning combinations before Lynch locked in the disarmer. Before Kai could tap out or get out of the move, Lynch was attacked by Sky and Zayn. The ref called for the bell and the match was thrown out. Lyra Valkyria once again came down for the save, with her and Lynch clearing house. With the ring cleared, the two of them took in the adulation. Then, from nowhere, Liv Morgan attacks Lynch from behind before making good her escape.
Up next is the Fatal 4-Way tag match to determine the number 1 contenders. First out, Finn Balor and JD McDonagh, who Michael called...
called JD McDummer.
Freudian slip, maybe. Either way, it was funny. They were then followed by the New Catch Republic, the Creed Brothers, and finally AOP, with the Awesome Truth sitting at ringside.
Julius Creed superplexed Balor for a 2 count, then followed a double powerbomb by AOP, a Brutus bomb to the outside, and a burning hammer, but nothing gets a pinfall. Then we see Dunn wailing on JD on the announcer's table, only for Carlito to turn up and plant a backstabber on Dunn. Dunn then gets thrown back into the ring to suffer the coup de grace, which he actually does by Finn Balor. Balor then pins Dunn for the 3 count, and he and McDonagh become the number 1 contenders for the WWE World Tag Championships.
Final match tonight, main event Jey Uso against Ilja Dragunov for a place at the semi-final of the King of the Ring against Gunther.
After a quick break, we go to the back and we see Judgment Day celebrating their win in the tag match with Carlito. Priest questioning Carlito, that stuff with Ray, can you handle it because we don't roll with cowards, before calling him amigo and walking off. I think Priest's coming round to Carlito and he might let him in the Judgment Day, but we'll have to wait and see.
Back in the ring, Jey suicide dives Dragunov. Dragunov then tries to H-bomb Jey, who's lying on the announcer's table, only for Jey to roll out of the way. A slugfest then ensues before Dragunov gets the upper hand with 2 German suplexes.
A Constantine special puts Jey down for a 2 count, as does a H-bomb. Dragunov then sets up another H-bomb, but gets countered by a spear. Jey hits his Uso splash and picks up the win. He'll face off against Gunther in the Raw side semi-final of the King of the Ring. As Raw goes off the air, Gunther meets Jey in the middle of the ring for a good old stare down. Thank you again for watching.
And we'll see you again next time.